What's going on, everybody? It's me, it's the PR. I am me, coming at you guys with another episode of the Prime Nostalgia Podcast. I am here with this guy that, well, he and his crew have a podcast called Wreck My Podcast, but this is the main guy. I want to introduce you guys to Jordan. How are you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
I am doing great. It's finally good to have you on the podcast.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy to be on. You like how I did my Joey Tribbiani? I was like, "How you doing?"
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
So, first out of the gate, I gotta ask you this question. So, growing up or any Friday night, what was a typical Friday night for you? Whether it's
Man. So Friday nights were typically the same thing. You get off of school when you're a kid, and you have the whole weekend ahead of you. It's this beautiful horizon just there. And what I would typically do is either have one of my friends over to my house for a sleepover or go over to their house because we would stay up all night playing N64 and watching probably the same 3 or 4 movies we would watch every weekend. But, any Mario game, Mario Party, Mario Kart, Mario Tennis, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, all GoldenEye, all those classics on N64. I swear we pretty much made those cartridges just die. We played them so much.
Well, I know I personally killed my No Mercy on N64, so.
Oh wow, that's a cool one. I didn't actually get into wrestling games until I had a PlayStation 2, and they were already doing the SmackDown stuff. So that was my interest. So I never got to play the ones on N64 for that.
Well, see, there's just one thing called punishment, right? So I forgot what happened. I did something that was a punishment and they took the PlayStation away, but I still had the 64. So I was like, well, since I can't play the PlayStation, I might as well play this.
Yeah.
And then I just became a beast at No Mercy.
Yeah, people speak very fondly of No Mercy, so I should go back. I have my N64 plugged in at my podcasting studio. I should try and seek that one out and go back and play it. No
Mercy was good, and WrestleMania 2000 was good as well.
Perfect. I'm going to put those 2 on my list.
Okay, that's good. Now,
yeah, Friday nights, that's what I did. I played a lot of video games, watched a lot of movies, ate a lot of junk food, and hung out with the same, 3 people I still hang out with today.
That sounds about right. That sounds about normal. I mean, basically everybody, we go to their friend's house or go home early, watch. Some people watch TGIF. Some people, I watch, I had a mixture, but I usually watch SmackDown when it was on Fridays. And then...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then it was that was the pizza night. So it was order pizza. And then after SmackDown, we either play the game all night or watch one movie and then play the game all night. But usually SmackDown, something, then the game all night.
Yeah. Some you got to switch it up sometimes. You can't just always be the games. You got to give some love to the movies, to the TV. You got to spread it all around.
Yeah, it got spread around all right, but before we dive deep into you, I want to talk about your podcast a little bit because I gotta say I really enjoy Wreck My Podcast. But
well, thank you. I appreciate that.
How did you come up with that name?
So I came up with the name because essentially the podcast revolves around nostalgia, and when you think you deal with this quite a bit on your podcast, and you're into all the nostalgia stuff still and everything, and so when you look back on some things, you remember it a certain way, and then when you revisit it, you're like, oh man, my memory was so different than what it actually is. So me and my friends were talking one time about going back and watching all the Disney Channel original movies because we were reminiscing about, oh, dude, Brink and Johnny Tsunami and Motocross. These movies were so freaking cool. Wait a minute.
Out of all the Disney decons, you picked Johnny Tsunami as the first one?
Yeah, Johnny Tsunami. That was our first episode because that's the one that got me into snowboarding. And I was an avid snowboarder for the majority of my life after that. I was 12 years old when I saw that. So I was like, this has to be number 1 on our podcast. So we were talking about revisiting those. And I told my friends, I'm like, hey, why don't we start a podcast? And if no one listens, it at least gives us a reason to hang out, drink some beer, and watch these old movies together. And if people like it and it catches on, cool, then we'll continue going from there. So I got a few people on board with it. No one would commit long term. So if you go back and listen to the first probably 30 episodes in our catalog, it's always different guests every week. now I finally have a solid crew of about the same 3 guys, not a lot of switch out, and we cover all the stuff now. So it started just me wanting to hang out with my friends and watch old movies and TV shows, and I didn't really realize how time-consuming a podcast is, but once I got into it, I loved it, and people latched on, and I'm like, cool, let's keep riding the train, and that's where I am today.
Yeah, it is. It is cool. I'm gonna need y'all to finish some of them decoms, though. I'm just saying.
Well, we'll get back to it. I think a month, either September or November, we're gonna do just Disney Channel Original Movie Month. So I'll throw some polls out there, and we'll do kind of like a tournament and see what all the fans on Instagram vote as the 4 will cover that month.
Well, if Smart House don't win, then I'm not listening.
Smart House has to be on there. That's such a good one.
Oh, especially that one scene when they all in the house dancing.
Oh my gosh, I've actually pulled that clip out and put it in one of our episodes before. I don't remember what we were talking about, but that clip is definitely in one of our episodes.
I'm serious. Smart House don't win. I'm going on the riot. I'm going on the strike.
You're gonna get the shirt like if Daryl dies, we riot. It's gonna be if Smart House doesn't win, we riot.
Yeah, Smart House don't get through, we riot.
Yeah.
But I seen that this was your past episode. Just dating this a little bit. You had the Emperor's New Groove.
Oh yeah.
That was a good one to me. How did you feel revisiting? Like, were you extra excited? I know you were, 'cause I was.
Oh, I was super excited. I think the whole cast was extremely excited. No one had a single bad thing to say about that movie when we watched it and got together and talked about it. It was all good. I think I even asked, hey, was there a part you hated? And after silence for about 30 seconds, no one could come up with a single scene they didn't enjoy in that movie. So it's nice when you go back and revisit one of these that you remember as being awesome, and it ends up being awesome.
Yeah, some movies have that effect. Some movies don't have that same magic.
Mm-hmm.
Some have like, some don't have that same magic as well, but they have like a goofy, I don't know what you would call it. Like, for example, Good Burger. Good Burger has like that goofy, like, silly,
oh, totally.
ridiculous side.
Yeah. And that was one that was kind of the middle of the ground. I enjoyed it for what it was when we went back and watched Good Burger, but it was also kind of I remember there being a lot more jokes than there really are, but the jokes that they had were good. Like, since we watched Good Burger like maybe about a month or 2 ago, and we quote it all the time now. So it's one of those movies with tons of quotable lines.
Wow.
Yeah. Ooh, strawberry jacuzzi.
You do know they have an actual Good Burger restaurant in California.
Yeah. It was about 2 or 3 weeks ago the pop-up shop just opened. We are planning on going there and doing a Wreck My Stomach episode on site.
Okay.
So all of us are going to go and try it out.
When y'all do, y'all have to edit it quick and post like that day or the day after.
Yeah. It'll go up real quick. Yeah.
Another episode. I'm just going off of y'all episodes because I like the choices that y'all pick. Like, even the choices y'all don't pick, sometimes it's not. Like, for example, y'all did one about music.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't really relate with that one, so I was like, oh, okay, I still gave it a listen. It was still fun to listen to. That's the thing, though. Like, if you still don't resemble with that subject, you can still enjoyable.
Yeah, and that's what we hope to do. We don't want to alienate anyone because we want to make it as easy for people to listen as possible. But yeah, our music episodes are very much our style of music, and that's about it.
I'm gonna talk. I just keep going off of y'all episodes. I'm gonna talk one more of you guys' episodes, and that is the a Goofy movie.
Oh yes, that was a fun one.
That may be. I think that's an underrated movie, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if you don't know, and if you guys don't know on YouTube, you probably should know on YouTube or wherever. One of my favorite characters of all time, anywhere, is Powerline. And I gotta say,
that's a good thing to have because Powerline is amazing.
He is amazing.
They have the classics. Eye to Eye.
Eye to Eye is amazing.
Oh, so good. I can't tell you how many cover songs I have of the Powerline songs on my phone. I find any artist that's covered that song and get it. I love it.
I have about 10 Powerline shirts.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
yeah, I wore one today, so it just, you know. So
Keeping on brand. I love it.
Hot Topic, they keep putting them out, and I keep buying them. That's
Yeah, right? You can't say no to that.
yes. But this one thing that I only brought this up just because so I can mention this one thing is during the podcast, you guys played a song called "Wake Me Up," but it was sung by Goofy. Where did
Yes.
you find that?
So, our one guest, Cam, he is the purveyor of all things odd and unneeded. So he knew of this video where it's Goofy singing Evanescence's "Wake Me Up Inside," and it's one of those things that you just have to show everyone.
So after I heard, I paused the podcast right then. I went to find Goofy's "Wake Me Up," and now that just sticks in my head.
It's so good though. I love it.
Wake me up, that boy.
Wake me up. It's awesome.
Now, now, is there any movie that you watched growing up that's not on you guys' list that you wish was on the radar?
Oh, no. I have a Excel spreadsheet, hundreds of cells long of things that I want to cover. Any and everything that pops up that I remember watching, or anything that anyone suggests, I throw on there, because my goal is that over however long I podcast, which I hope is a really, really long time, we cover literally everything anyone could want us to cover. I don't want to leave anything off. I don't care how ridiculous, how deep cut, how weird. If it's something that is nostalgic, if it's something that's pop culture, if it's something that I've even heard of and maybe never seen, I'm gonna check it out and talk about it.
Okay, give me a deep cut. Give me one that not many people might know or think of.
Okay, so one. Let's see. I forget the name off the top of my head. I think it's called Witches. It's a movie that my wife was really into when she was young, and I had actually never heard of it. So I was like, you know what? We'll cover that one because I think a lot of people haven't heard that. Oh, another one, one that we're going to cover that doesn't really necessarily fall, because we don't cover just nostalgia. We also do some pop culture stuff. So, like we covered Endgame when that came out. We'll cover like modern stuff here and there. But one that we want to do is a thing called Thanksgilling.
Oh,
and
okay.
Yeah, it's a
wait a minute. I think I heard of that. Is that the one? Okay, so this might sound crazy for y'all that don't watch wrestling. Okay, have you seen Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse?
Yeah, I love Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse. That is so good.
Is Thanksgilling had the little turkey that looks like the character from that?
Yeah, Mercy
the Buzzard. Yeah, it looks like that.
Exactly
yes,
like it.
Okay.
Yes, it's the killer turkey that wants to take its revenge on everyone. It's such a bad yet such a good movie. So that's a deep cut. And then another deep cut that is more modern that I want to do is a movie called Iron Sky. Have you heard of that movie?
I haven't even heard of that.
Oh my gosh, this movie is ridiculous. So it's an alternate reality of the Earth, and it's if the Nazis went to the moon and continued to like live there, and then decided to attack Earth, and it's like this bonkers, just crazy movie that doesn't make sense, and it's like Sharknado, but like a war space movie. It's so fun. It's ridiculous.
I'll give you another deep cut that you probably heard of. Santa's Sleigh is...
Oh, yes, Santa's Sleigh. Yes, I like that one.
I don't even know how to explain that other than just it's a movie.
Yeah. Well, it's great. So here's the thing is Cam, who's on the show, he has his master's in fine arts in film. So he's a movie maker. He teaches film. He knows, like, if I ever have a question about, his wheelhouse is so bad they're good movies that you've never heard of. So if I need any suggestion, I'm like, Cam, tell me what we should watch today. And he's like, boom, let's watch this. And then we watch it. Man,
it's a lot of movies going through my head. Like, now that I'm talking to you, just straight all movies with wrestlers just came in my head. So that's all I'm naming.
Have you seen Santa with Muscles?
Is that with Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, the Hulk Hogan one.
The only movie I've seen with Hogan was No Holds Barred, and
Okay.
Mr. Is it Mr. Mom? No, not Mr. Mom.
Mr. Mom was Keaton.
He's like a nanny or something. He is.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I forget the name of it. He was also in that Three Ninjas movie, like something at High Noon or whatever, like the third or fourth Three Ninjas movie. He was in that too.
Hogan has made some bad movie decisions. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I don't think he made a single good movie decision.
But the thing is, he wrote No Holds Barred. How you write a movie? Him and Vince
wrote that?
Him and Vince wrote it.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
You know, it's so
I guess that
weird.
makes sense then, though.
How do you write a movie? You're like, all right, Hulk. What we need you to do is we need you to. Oh wait, no, you're not Hulk. You're Rip. It's like they go from between calling him Hulk and Rip in the movie.
Well, I mean, have you watched wrestling lately? The writing's not much better.
Well, okay, touche.
Yeah.
Oh man, now I'm just about to throw a whole bunch of movies at you. So you know.
I know. Yeah, the movies are. The problem is when you get this ball rolling, it just gets bigger and bigger, and then you can't stop it. And you just keep going and going. I was graduating high school in 2007, so I was definitely like done way before that. But I remember like the Color of Friendship, Miracle in the Second Lane, or whatever that was. There was some like pretty well acted, heartfelt Disney Channel original movies that would hold up today still. So they had some hokey ones, but man, they had some good ones too.
Yeah, they did. You know, now the 13th Year is one that I think is it came on so much to where I liked it to where I was like, this kind of play, and I'm kind of getting sick of it.
Yeah, no, that was definitely one on repeat. I really liked the 13th Year when I was a kid. I'm not that's one that's on the list. I'm a little. Sometimes you don't. That's the problem with a podcast like this is sometimes you don't want to tarnish these things, but you have to for the fans. So it's kind of a bummer. My favorite channel was definitely Nickelodeon when I was a kid. Yeah, I loved the Nicktoons stuff. That's kind of where I lived. Disney Channel was super cool too, but I was more into the animated TV shows for sure. So like SpongeBob was one that I watched a ton.
It just so. I don't want to say I'm a big kid or anything, but like every time it comes on TV, I sit and watch it, or I'll leave it on. I'll keep going back and forth, but it is just nonsense.
I'll tell you what, I quote SpongeBob so much. My wife has never seen an episode, and she quotes back to me lines from the show because I've said them so many times to her that she knows them.
Okay, that sounds like me.
Yeah, right.
What's your favorite SpongeBob song? Since we're on the SpongeBob discussion.
So the Best Day Ever would probably be number one. The sweater song is really good. Not the Weezer sweater song. The SpongeBob sweater song. And then Fun is always good too. The F is for friends who do stuff together. That's a classic. So I think those three are good. I mean, there's so many like Rip My Pants.
I Rip My Pants is my favorite.
Yeah, that's such a good one.
And then the Campfire song.
Yes, Campfire song. And then there's the Texas song that Sandy sings. So there's like so many just classic songs from this show.
Hey, Jordan, what am I? Texas? No, that ain't what he said. He said, what am I, stupid?
Yeah.
I forgot it already because it's my God.
It's funny too because he's got like his head is Texas and it's so dumb.
Yes.
It's also funny too in that one episode where she's like, "Hey there, Pinhead." He's like, "Who you calling Pinhead?" It's the best.
This will be the last thing I say about SpongeBob because I could go on with this, but one of my favorite episodes was when SpongeBob and Patrick were the hall monitors, and like I forgot what SpongeBob did, but they had a wanted poster for SpongeBob, and SpongeBob and Patrick were looking for the person on the wanted poster, not knowing that they were looking for themselves.
Yeah,
and Patrick was like,
I do
at the
remember
top,
that. Yeah, I totally remember that.
He was like, go in the mailbox. No, wait, he's in the mailbox. Go in the go down the street. No, he's walking down the street.
And then he's just like running in circles, like, where do I go? And then he's like, you hear the crackle of the talkie-talkie. He's like, he's in the mailbox.
Yeah, man,
So good.
They did a great job with that show.
Oh yeah,
honestly.
that show it will live on forever. But
It's so weird though, because they have new episodes, and the new episodes are actually like they're just the same level. Like they keep it
yeah,
up.
it's surprising that this many years later, it's still going strong. I was actually surprised that they're still doing new episodes. I thought it ended a long time ago, and I saw it on. I'm like, oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah, they did. They did a new episode special for it. They did like a marathon for the anniversary with the real people, which was weird.
Yeah, no, it is. I think it's great though. I mean, you definitely know when a show is in the cultural lexicon when it's lasted this long and people still are quoting these things.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No, this is Patrick.
Wait a minute. I want to hear you do your Patrick Warburton impression, because that one was good.
See, my impression's
See,
so
no,
terrible
you say
when
you
you
can't
put me on
do
the
it.
spot.
You say you can't do it, but that was a good one. But
yeah.
I'll give you time.
Yeah. I mean, I can do certain things, like I was saying, how I was like, no, this is Patrick, not the Krusty Krab, and then or he's like, my name's not Rick. Yeah, it's not great, but I do it. I deal with what I can.
Squick 'em, squick 'em.
Yeah.
I can't even do it.
Yeah,
but.
squeaker. Yeah, see, I can't do that one. That's all Kreger on our podcast. He's the impressions guy. He has it down.
I wish I could do an impression. I used to do a Stone Cold, and I only say what. Like, that's the only thing I could say, but
Yeah.
it used to sound like him, but I can't even do that anymore.
Yeah, I think if you just smoked a pack a day for the next 10 years, your voice will be gravelly enough to get there. It takes a little while. Yeah. Yeah. So, speaking of TV shows, I wanted to mention one other one I watched as a kid that's actually a really random, weird one that most people probably don't watch when they're kids. My dad was a huge Star Trek fan. And now you may think, oh, he watched Next Generation when he was a kid. No, I didn't. I watched Voyager when I was a kid.
Oh,
and I thought,
okay, wow.
Yeah, I thought Voyager was the coolest Star Trek series ever when I was a kid. I mean, I've changed my mind as an adult now, but that was a show I did not miss ever. Every Wednesday night, you better believe I was sitting in front of that TV watching the next episode of Voyager.
So, you said your favorite channel was Nickelodeon.
Yes.
Now, so I'm assuming Nickelodeon had the most shows lined up that you'll watch.
Oh yeah, it would be you pretty
yeah.
just flip it on after school, and anything that was on, 99% of the stuff I would enjoy watching.
So out of Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, and Cartoon Network, you'll kick off Cartoon Network?
I would, because Cartoon Network was not one I ever watched much as a kid.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of the shows as I got older, but that was not as much on my radar as Nickelodeon and Disney Channel was.
Yeah, understandable. I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
Not that they had bad stuff. It's just that Nickelodeon and Disney just had way more variety.
Yeah, and Nickelodeon had a style that they kind of stuck to, where Cartoon Network was all over the place with their animation styles. So, you have the Powerpuff Girls, and then you have Johnny Bravo, and then you have Coward the Cowardly Dog.
Fosters or something.
Yeah. You have all these random writing styles, all these random animation styles, which is awesome. But as a kid, it's a little overwhelming, which is why I kind of stuck to my bubbly Nickelodeon stuff,
Now, I just thought about this show. This might be a deep cut for some people. It's a show on Cartoon Network. And when this show came on, I was like, yeah, I got to stop watching Cartoon Network. But it was about a boy. It's going to sound crazy. He got hit by a train, and now he has imaginary friends inside of his head.
Is that Foster's Home for Imaginary
No.
Friends? No, not that one?
No. It's called Inside Jimmy's Brain.
I've never heard of that one.
See? Because they had a movie, and the movie he got hit by a train, and he had imaginary friends inside his head. Only he could see them. And then they made a show from it.
That's pretty cool.
Now, I thought I was hallucinating. I thought maybe that couldn't be what the show was.
Yeah.
I looked up, and yep, that's what the show was.
Dude, they have some shows that have some weird concepts. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I would not put it past them.
Yeah, I mean, since we talk about deep, I won't say deep cuts, but well, I keep calling them deep cuts because I assume like they don't really have that much following like these other shows in nostalgia and pop culture and stuff. But have you ever watched the Naked Brothers Band?
No, I have not.
Just me? All right.
Yeah, I actually don't know that one either. What channel was that on?
That was on Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon, Naked Brothers Band. It must have been. It must have been. You know, you hit about 13 years old, and you start going, "Hey, I need to be watching MTV because that's what my friends are telling me to do." So you kind of hit that point where you kind of
Understandable.
Yeah, you lose track of the shows that are going on.
So that's kind of what I did, but like I watch MTV after a certain time, so I won't miss the shows.
Yeah,
the next shows.
You did a little of both.
Yeah, I was like, I'll watch it, but I still like this show, so I'll check it out.
Yeah.
And what's another show people probably haven't heard? Have you ever watched Just Jordan?
I have not, no, but I should. My name's in it.
That came in like 05, I think, 2005 or 2006.
Throughout that time, it was probably 2002 when I started moving away slowly from the kid stuff, and it wasn't until middle of college that I started getting back into it. You know, like you stop buying all the Pokemon games, you stop watching all the cartoons, and then you get to a certain point where you're like, man, I love that stuff. Why did I stop? Oh, that's right. I can make my own decisions, and I don't need to do what is the societal norm, quote unquote, and I can go watch and play these things again. So, you know, there's like that. There's quite a few years there where it was just like I didn't get to watch all that stuff because you're trying to be cool, I guess. I don't know. And then you're like, well, what is cool, you know? And it's like, I'm going to watch what I want to watch.
Yeah, you just made me almost cry because I did that before and I gave away a lot of money. So, it's this show, you may know it, everybody probably know it, the Power Rangers.
Oh, yes. Love the Power Rangers.
I, growing up, loved that show. And I got to an age where I was like, this show's for kids. And I had a lot of stuff I had signed and all, and I just threw it all away. Didn't sell it.
No.
I didn't throw it away. Like, you know how they have giveaways? Like,
yeah.
I did like one of those. Like, I just gave it away. None of like I guess I put all the stuff in the bag, and then they came and got it. But yeah, so it was a lot of
and
all
now
that signed
you're kicking
stuff.
Yourself, man.
Yes.
That stuff would be awesome to have now.
Just like I don't know if you remember when the Rugrats VHS came out and they had the orange
oh yeah
tape.
I still have my orange tapes.
See?
I kept a few VHS tapes, and that's one of them I kept.
That's not one I kept. That
Yeah.
one which one is the one with Reptar on the cover? Is that Paris?
Yes. Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
so that one.
Well, Reptar. They're in Paris. They're writing a Reptar. No, Reptar Wagon is the first movie, and then Reptar on the cover is the Paris, I believe. I'm trying.
Yeah.
Like I can almost envision it, but it's kind of fuzzy.
So yeah, those two were the ones that had to go too, and yeah, so I was kind of feeling bad for a while. Well, at first I didn't care. Then when I started getting back into it and started knowing the people, I was like, wait a minute, this is worth how much now?
Yeah, right? And not even
Yeah.
just worth how much, how nostalgic it is just to have that stuff still and to be like, man, this was so awesome back in the 90s and stuff. Like, it was so cool. Speaking of Power Rangers, so the White and Green Ranger, his name is Jason David Frank. He still does a ton of stuff in the Power Rangers universe and everything. But he opened up he has a karate studio.
Oh, that's just gonna talk about something else.
He's got a karate studio called Rising Sun that's now more like an MMA thing. But he had a dojo out in my town, actually. He lived out here for a really long time. And I went to his dojo for about 4 years when I was younger to take karate. And he was there. Talk about as a kid being starstruck. You're getting taught karate by the Green Ranger.
So, did you actually want to learn karate, or did you want to get into class because he was there?
No, I wanted to learn karate because I wanted to be able to do the martial arts things like the Rangers.
Okay.
But then when I found out that he was teaching it, I was like, are you kidding me? I have to go to this dojo. This is the best thing ever. And so my parents got me a year subscription or a year membership for like a Christmas when I was a kid. And then I just kept going and going. And I think I got up to like a brown belt or something by the time I left. So I stuck with it for a while. But yeah, that was that was as a kid, you're like, oh, this is so cool.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
I know. They do have like a Kickstarter though.
Yeah, Legend of the White Dragon is
Yeah.
a new web series they're doing, and the trailer. I just brought it up on one of our
I
podcasts.
see it. It was hilarious because everybody was like, "Yeah, I don't know what that is."
Yeah, everyone else is like, I don't know. I'm like, guys, I still follow Power
Oh,
Rangers.
man.
Come on.
He was like, "Yeah, Legend of the White Dragon." Anybody else excited? No, just me. All right.
Nope.
Keep moving.
All right. Yeah, and I moved on real quick. I'm like, well, go check out the trailer. It's cool.
Yeah, no, it is cool. I hope they get to their goal so they can come up with it.
Yeah, me too. Because Bat and the Sun is producing it, and they are awesome. They do such good choreography at that
Superpower Beatdown
production
too.
studio.
Yep.
Yeah, like all that stuff is amazing. So I really hope they can finish this web series.
I just want to support it because Christiani is in it.
Yeah.
If
No,
you
the
don't-
cast, everything's amazing that they have going into it. So yeah, I think if anyone hasn't heard of it yet, definitely go check it out and then think about supporting it because it's a really cool thing to support.
Now I'm gonna go on to this subject because this is a show that I like, and I found a lot of people that enjoy it, but I haven't found many people that like it as well as I do. Freaks and Geeks. Did you
Okay, so Freaks and Geeks, I didn't watch until way later in life after
Okay.
it had been off the air forever. I honestly, it's a product of too much hype in my mind. I went into it with everyone telling me this is the best thing ever.
See, that's why.
And
That's why.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a bad show. I enjoyed it. The problem is I was expecting more the way people were talking about it, and that just ruined it. I'm like, I wish I could have watched this when it was on and I knew nothing about it because it would have been amazing. But because everyone told me this show is just the best, I was expecting more than I got out of it.
That's why. See, I knew zero about this show before I watched it, and I seen it on Netflix one day. Like, you know how when you are on a thing for too long, they'll just start playing like the first trailer or the first couple minutes.
Oh yeah. They're like, you better watch this now.
Yeah, that's how it was. I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. It was about, it's like in a teenage school setting. So I was like, I'll give it a try, and I liked it. I was like, oh well. I watched all 19 episodes like that day or the day after.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's a good show.
The cast is awesome too. I mean,
Yeah.
if you go back and you watch it, every person in that show, you're like, oh, these are big names now.
Yeah. You got James Franco. He
Yep,
looked
Seth Rogen.
He looked stoned in every scene he was in.
Oh.
He probably was.
Dude, that's his forte. That's just him. He looks stoned all the time.
First time. Yeah. That meme is hilarious too. But
yeah.
the only reason I bring this up is because that's one that I just enjoy. Like,
Yeah, it's a great movie, and the problem is, or I'm sorry, movie. It's a TV show. It's a great TV show, and the problem is sometimes the most fondly remembered TV shows are the ones that got canceled way too early. Another one like that is Firefly. That movie did
okay.
not get to run its course. That is one of my favorite sci-fi properties. If you even want to call it sci-fi, it's very much a Western as well. It's that weird dichotomy. But that's probably one of my biggest regrets in life is that Firefly never got more seasons.
it's probably a thing where so I know some shows they don't increase in audience, so there's like, you know what, we're not increasing the audience, then we're just gonna pull it.
Yeah, and the problem was they didn't even give it a fighting chance because Firefly was released in the wrong order on television. So Fox,
Just like Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how do you expect an audience to latch on and understand what's going on when you have a show that relies heavily on character development and a story arc throughout the season when you give it to them out of order? Of course no one's going to understand it. That's why these two types of shows didn't catch on until it was in syndication and it had DVD sales because people could watch it in the way it was meant to be watched. So sometimes studios or like production studios, they just wreck these amazing stories because they get their hands in it and they shouldn't be involved.
Now, I don't understand how some shows they'll record like the whole show, and then before the show even comes out, they'll cancel it and they'll put like 5 episodes out.
Yeah, I know. It's like why not just put them all out? Like we have 13 episodes, but we're only going to release 3 of them. What's the point of that?
I know this show. Nobody probably remembers this show. It's called The Big House. It got Kevin Hart in it. It's like one of his first shows, and
Yeah,
it's
I don't
only
remember
5
that one.
episodes.
So it's one of the same things where it's like it didn't even give itself a chance.
Yeah, so because I read the story about this, I want to know why it got canceled. So he said that they flew him out to, you know how they have the NBC and all that stuff, where they unveiling the shows, and he said that they flew him out to unveil the show, and he wanted to be nice. He flew the whole cast out, and when they all got there, he said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna cancel your show, but go out there act happy." So yeah, before it even came out.
Man, that's so like the industry. Like, because living in Los Angeles, I know a lot of people that are in the film and TV industry, and that happens way more than you think.
It happens a lot. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes it's understandable. Like, sometimes I can understand why a show would be hesitant to give money and put money out there if they don't know if they're gonna get it back or not. But some things
But
is
I mean,
just
like,
ridiculous.
I mean, like when you have TV shows like on TBS or whatever, they had a TV show that was like Superior Donuts, and that got like 2 seasons. I mean, come on. You can't tell me that you can't give every show at least a season or 2 to like try and catch an audience.
Now, some of these reality shows, they get 2-minute seasons, but I'm not gonna speak about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, just, we're coming back from this break. Let us know where we can find you at, Jordan. Let us know where we can follow you.
So you can find me for Wreck My Podcast, pretty much any social media site at Wreck My Podcast. We have a website as well, wreckmypodcast.com. That's pretty much our central hub. It'll give you links to any of our shows, any of our social medias, our Redbubble store for merchandise, our Patreon. We're on all the typical fare, but if you want to find me personally, my Instagram handle is at BS and Craft Beer, and that's my personal one, so you can find me there as well.
He literally posts like a workout video a day and then him drinking beer the next day. So.
Yep, yeah, it's
Basically.
my 3 greatest passions. It's blood, sweat, and craft beer. So beer, working out, and professional wrestling. So all 3 are in there.
So, speaking of wrestling, are you excited about AEW?
I am, yes. I've watched 2 of their pay-per-views so far, and I've liked most of what I've seen. They have a lot of great names. My biggest concern is that they're trying too hard to be AEW-ish, if that even makes sense. I'm almost like, okay, it feels fake because they're trying to be so real, if that even makes sense. There's just, it's something weird and off to me. So I hope that once they get on TV, they kind of iron that out a little bit. But man, the talent they have is amazing. So, hey, if anything, you're going to get a bunch of great wrestling matches.
I think they'll continue to get better over time. They have a lot of people doing this for the first time, so that's understandable.
Yeah. And did you watch? I think it was 2 pay-per-views ago. It was called Fighter Fest.
I was there. I was there.
Oh, you were there. So
wait,
you got
okay,
to see
wait. I'm sorry. Not Fighter Fest. I was at the other one. My bad.
Oh, okay. So because they did a Street Fighter entrance for Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. That was awesome.
So what was supposed to happen was Kenny was supposed to have some gear from Akuma, and it didn't come in time. So he had to wear his old gear. That's why the Young Bucks had their special Ryu and he just had his regular attire. So.
But they made it work too because they gave him the symbol on the back, and they also did the whole what's Dan thing or whatever from the game where like that dude runs out and is like crazy, and then Akuma comes out and everything. So they did a good job for people who are Street Fighter fans to like.
I did like that where like the lights cut off and you just see him beating you up.
yeah, it was great. I was like, oh, this is so cool. It's such a callback. Like, that's amazing.
Now, when they did, I was like, this got Kenny Omega written all over it. This dude.
Yes.
It's like he was made for this whole thing. His whole CEO thing that they were partnering with. It's like he was made for it.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I can't wait to see Kenny Omega week to week on a TV show. It's gonna be so awesome.
speaking of CEO, just for you guys, if you feel like it, I do have a video of Kenny Omega and Xavier Woods a couple years ago at CEO that I went to, but it's 2017. It's a couple years ago. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think they're doing good. Now,
Mm-hmm.
the Fight for the Fallen, what I went to, it was it was interesting. Like that, the timing was off. There's a lot of things. I feel like there was a lot of things wrong with the show, but good with the show at the same time. Like
Yeah.
the pre-show was terrible.
I'm sure they have a lot of production problems right now because I mean, it's quite a big stage you're going on to, and there's a lot of wrinkles that you got to iron out that WWE has had 25 years to get right. So there's going to be a few hiccups along the way, but I think that as long as they don't have like a huge like speed bump, they'll get it pretty quickly.
I think they need to focus on length and importance. So they're doing okay with the importance, but the length needs work because the other ones they been good. But Fight for the Fallen was like long. Like we got there like 6 something. We didn't get out to like 12:30. So that is just something that they need to work on next time going into it. But
yeah, and you really need to have that if you're going to have a weekly TV show. You got to be able to keep on track.
They did announce their first 3 locations, which one already sold out in Washington, D.C. The next one is in Boston, and the next one is in Philly. So if you're in those locations, then you can go to AEW if you like. Or you can go to New Japan when New Japan comes the following month or next month and a half.
Where is New Japan coming this time?
They're going to Boston and Philly. And
okay, so kind of the same places.
At Boston, Philly, and New York. The Manhattan Center, I think that's where they're going. And Boston, I don't know. I forgot where they're going to Boston. They go to the ECW Arena in Philly.
Cool.
So,
yeah. No, those would be great shows to see. Too bad I'm on the other side of the country.
Well, yeah. I'm pretty sure they're going to have one come your way because they didn't announce. They were supposed to have 3 shows after that they were going to announce, but they like to troll. So as soon as he was about to announce the 3rd one, they cut the video off. So
yeah. Well, I'm sure it'll be over in this area because I know that New Japan's come to like Long Beach quite a few times. So eventually I'll get to see that.
Do you keep up with the G1? Or do you know what it is?
So here's the thing. I am completely ignorant to New Japan. I know some of the names. Okay. I've watched some of the matches, but I don't follow it very closely.
Okay, so this will be a good little lesson then. Okay. So you don't know anything about the G1?
I know what the G1 is. I know it's like a tournament, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I watch a wrestling podcast on YouTube called Going in Raw. With,
yes. Well, yeah.
Yeah, with Steven Larson. So they've talked about the G1, but I've never actually watched it. Okay,
so the G1 is a tournament where they have an A block and a B block. So whoever wins A and B block, they fight, and then whoever wins that go to Wrestle Kingdom, which is their WrestleMania, and fight for the championship. That's basically, long story short, what it is. But you have to fight a lot of matches.
Yeah.
And you get a point system.
Oh, it's a point system, so it's not like a one-time elimination type thing.
No, you don't get eliminated. You just points. Okay. Like if you win by pinfall or submission, you get a point or 2 points. You get 2 points. If you win by countout, you get 1 point. And if you lose, you get no points.
That's a great concept. I really like that.
Yeah, it's a good concept. Some of the people they have in it though, I don't think they should be in it, but it's not my judging. But as of now, Dean Ambrose, aka Jon Moxley, is in the lead in his block.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he hasn't been pinned or submitted yet.
Good for the Mox.
He did lose by count out though, so.
Yeah, that dude needs a win after what he went through in WWE.
But the thing, I don't think he's going to win the whole thing, just because for one, he has a championship already, so they kind of have to build for that. And 2, is this guy named Kota Ibushi.
I've heard the name. Okay,
Kota Ibushi is the Golden Star. He is Kenny Omega's best friend, tag team partner, Golden Lover. It was their tag name. So I think he's gonna win. He's second in his block though by like a point, but uh, it's a storyline I think is gonna happen this time.
That's cool.
He's one of those that go to the finals every year but
Uh-huh.
loses in the finals.
So it's his time. It's his time to rise up and finally get one.
Yeah, so I think that would be a good storyline.
Yeah,
So,
it's always a good storyline when you have, because is he a baby face or a heel?
Yeah, he's the ultimate, the ultimate
Oh,
baby
okay.
face.
Cool. Perfect. So everyone loves an underdog story. I mean, it just happened with Kofi Kingston and everything too. Like give the guy a win and let him go, and people are gonna eat it up.
And cause they have he's won other championships and stuff, but not the big one. So
Yeah.
they have their junior heavyweight division is like the cruiserweights. So
Mm-hmm.
he's been over there for a long time. So he's like wants to win the big one.
Well, I don't watch, but I'm fully behind Kota Ibushi.
Yeah, see, already. But I mean, yeah, wrestling. There's a lot of stuff I could talk about all day. Wrestling, nostalgia, Power Rangers,
yeah.
music.
Oh,
So
I feel you, man.
yeah.
I feel you. That's why I have a podcast, because then at least it gives me a place to air all this out every week.
That is true. So I just want to ask you a couple questions about your podcast and
Yeah,
guests on your podcast. So say if you were to do any movie you want, even if you already did it, but say you want to do a movie and you want to bring a guest from the movie, what movie would you pick and who would you choose?
Oh man. So I'm gonna let you in on a little secret that my favorite thing of all time is Star Wars.
Okay.
I know, real basic of me, right? But that was the thing as a kid that got me into headier sci-fi, if you want to even say that, because I am fully into science fiction. That is my thing. I love it. It's so much so that I have a Tron tattoo, a very obscure
okay.
Tron tattoo. Yeah. So Star Wars would be the coolest thing to me would be if I got to watch and this is why. I'll explain why in a second. So if I got to have Mark Hamill on the podcast, because that dude's like everyone's favorite dad.
That's
like,
awesome. That'd be awesome.
He has the dad jokes. He's really witty. But what I would want to do is not watch one of the original Star Wars. I would want him to come on and do a riff with me on Attack of the Clones. And see,
wow, okay.
just see what he would say about that.
Okay, that's a nice concept.
Yeah, so it'd be kind of like the so bad it's kind of good, but it's only good because you have Mark Hamill on it.
All right, you must have been thinking about that for a long time, haven't you?
Oh, dude, if I could hang out with Mark Hamill on the podcast, I could die a happy man. Like, that guy is so cool.
Man, I don't even know who I would pick. It's just so much stuff I know, so much stuff I want to talk about.
It's hard too because it's a little intimidating. Because if it's someone that you're just so fanboy over, it would be hard to get through a podcast with them too.
Well, see that's why I would do it over here, not like in person. So
Yeah.
at least over there, I'll be more open rather than looking at them in the face. So
Yeah. No, I want Mark Hamill in my studio. I want him here. I want to look him in the face. I want him to do the Joker laugh for me. It's gonna be a ball.
Then you're gonna be like,
Yeah, I'll be stumbling over everything. It'll be great.
Oh man, are you looking for this? No. Okay. By the way, guys, if you hear me quote movie references out of nowhere, it's kind of a thing that I do to see if people get it. Some people get it, some people don't, but that's the fun of it.
Yeah, and that's the greatest connection you can have is when you make a random reference to something and someone gets it. You're like, are we best friends? Did we just become best friends? It's great.
Like, I was listening to this one podcast, and they said a line from Freaks and Geeks that it's used, but it's not used, like, it's not one of the big things in the episode. But it's like, this guy every time, you know Sam, her brother, Sam.
Yeah, yes. Sam Weir, the little kid who's kind of like the nerdy kid and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every time he sees the girl, the girl he liked, He goes, oh, hi, Sydney. That small little line. That's it. Just, oh, hi, Sydney. And he said it. I was like, oh, that is actually funny.
And now you have that deep connection
Oh,
of
yes.
pop culture.
Oh, yes. Usually I do it with SpongeBob jokes, though. Or I do it with Good Burger jokes because I love the movie.
Yeah.
But other than that, if it's something other than that, then I wouldn't be upset if they didn't catch it because it's understandable.
Yeah. Sometimes, the really obscure references, it's like, of course they didn't understand it. But yeah, if you're quoting something that's memorable and known and they don't get it, it's kind of like, all right, come on, get on my level, man.
Just like the Emperor's New Groove, and she was like, "You're looking for this," and then she pulls up her it's up her leg.
Oh, that part, I love that part. It's so good. They're like, oh no! Oh, okay, just a knife. Okay.
Because I think they did that in the show too, or they.
I'm sure they did.
Yes, but it wasn't her leg. It was like her arm or something. Something she had in her stomach. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's great.
Man, it's just awesome talking about this with you. But I have this end segment. It's called the End of the Road.
Mm-hmm.
Also, my outro song, Boys to Men, End of the Road. It's a good song. So we're gonna go to the end, and we're gonna talk a little bit more and get in depth with some things.
All right.
Now, it's the end almost of the road, and we know Jory, but what do you want us to really know about Jory?
Long walks on the beach, candlelit dinner. Those are things. No. Man,
super dude now?
Here's the thing about me. It's very, very weird. I am probably the loudest introvert anyone's ever met because I have so many phobias and so many anxieties, and I'm such a reserved kind of guy when it comes internally that people may not know that about me because I am so loud and out there when it comes to like, hey, I'm the host of a podcast. I talk to people all the time. I love these things. But that's kind of like the weird dichotomy with me is that people don't know that I'm a very like extra or introverted type of person. So I always joke that I'm the loudest introvert that anyone's ever met. That's just a little glimpse into me. I'm also the most socially awkward person you've ever met, which is great for hosting podcasts because, who doesn't want the awkward guy all the time hosting things? But hey, I make it work for me. I lean into it, I know what I am, and I'm not trying to fool anyone. But yeah, that's a loaded question. Who is Jordan? Who is he?
So, say you're at the gym, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you just feel this. You just feel something in the corner of your eye, like you feel it in your peripherals. While you're working out, and you just got eyes on you. What do you do?
Ooh. Oh, that's a good question. I'd probably look over and see who's looking at me. Yeah. I don't know what I would do in that situation. Keep working out and then like fall to the floor and then slowly roll towards the exit.
Wow.
And then ungracefully shimmy out the door. I don't know.
Wow.
I think that's why they put mirrors in gyms. Then you could always do the quick glance to make sure no one is watching you. Because if someone's watching you when you're at the gym, there's one of two things going on. Either you're doing really, really good or you're doing really, really bad. And I'm going to say I'm probably doing really, really bad. So it's not a good thing.
I know that is. I just asked this is a random question. I know you go to the gym a lot, so that was just a random question.
Yeah.
But oh man. So like we were talking earlier about with these quotes, do you have a favorite movie quote or just something that pops in your head that you just say for no reason?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, oh man. You would think that it would be easy, but I have so many depending on the situation. Not to go back to SpongeBob, but I think the one that I say the most is, W for Wombo, I Wombo, you Wombo, he, she, me, wombo.
Wombos.
I bring that up probably so much that it doesn't even have a context anymore. Like if there's a lull in the conversation, I'll just start going, wombo, wombology. That's how I break tension.
So, like mine is weirder because mine is directed at a person, which sometimes I'm not even talking to nobody. I just say it out loud.
Yeah.
It is I'm gonna see if you know where this is from.
Okay.
It's like, all right, get your hands off her.
Get your hands off her. That sounds so familiar. Oh man, I can't pin where that's from.
It's Back to the Future.
Oh yes, with George McFly. Get your damn hands off her.
It was when he opens the door.
Yes. Oh man, that's classic. See, when you said it, I could picture it, but I could not figure out who it was. Like who said it.
Now, if I was in that situation, as soon as I seen Marty, I would have punched him in the face because I was like, you said you were gonna be in the car and it would be a fake fight, so I almost got beat up because of you.
Yeah, I know. That was man, that movie's so good actually. Except that movie's good, but when you go back and you see like the context of things, you're like, I don't know if this would fly in today's society.
You know how like after you see something, and then after you seen it, it's like you see it everywhere else now. It's crazy.
Yeah, kind of like the number 23.
Well, or the number 2, if you got that reference. If people who don't know, I like Austin Powers as well, so that's
Yeah, Austin Powers is one that Kreger on our podcast keeps trying to get us to watch.
Oh my! So have you ever seen it, or you just haven't seen it in a while?
Oh, I've seen them. I've actually seen them recently. He just wants to cover it on the podcast.
I mean, of course he would. Of course he does. Have you? Oh.
Yeah.
He just launched a rocket that's looked like a big pair of melons. Get your melons.
Melons. Classic.
Oh man. So it's been fun talking to you, but we got to end it here so we can end it here so that we can have another episode of more laughs, more talks, more just ridiculous conversation. I don't know. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. This whole conversation, we haven't really been having no context. It's just been going off randomly, so it's good. It's just talking
it's true.
shop.
I mean, imagine if we had like something we were actually talking about. We could get really deep into it.
Like if we were talking about Ready to Rumble,
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously, I might just title this episode "Wrecking My Podcast" because
hey,
it makes sense, and because
it
was just talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. But once again, can you tell the people where they can follow you?
Yeah, so Instagram and Twitter at WreckMyPodcast. We don't have a Facebook, so that's the one place. And then if you go on any podcasting app as well as YouTube, you can subscribe to our show there.
It is a really good listen, guys. Give it a listen. And if you don't want to give it a listen, go down their list and look at your favorite, like what's your favorite thing of that, and then listen to that.
You don't have to listen. I don't expect people to listen to everything. That's why it's a topic show. It's like, cool, if you know this, then listen to it. And if you've never seen something like Space Jam, then I don't expect you to listen to the Space Jam episode. So,
I'll tell you guys, well, not you guys, but I'll tell you, my first episode I seen of you was actually Spy Kids.
Oh, nice. I think that was me and my wife that did that one.
Yeah, you and your wife.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that was a fun one.
I was just scrolling because I think you had like 3 in a row or something I didn't know or something like that. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't know. So I was like, oh, I know Spy Kids. Spy Kids is one of the hits. So I looked at it and I was like, oh, that is enjoyable. And just so happened after I got done, you uploaded I think that's when you uploaded something. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I like this. I can't even remember what it was. It wasn't good, Burger. It wasn't good. It was it X-Men? No. Oh, I can't think. But it was good. And I was like, oh, yes, I'm going to enjoy this.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, we're trying to go for the good mark. We're trying to keep people coming back.
Yes, that's the goal. That's always the goal. Even if they
Oh
don't,
yeah,
you're still having fun, like you said earlier. So,
exactly. Yeah, not taking it too serious.
well, I mean, what more is there to say? We want to save it, but it's always weird. Like every time, well, not every time, but most times when I end the podcast, it's like we have a so good conversation that I will want to keep talking, but I gotta save it for the
Yeah.
next episode, next podcast.
Yeah, you got to keep something in the tank.
Hey, I got a lot left in the tank. Where was that from? You probably you should know that.
I don't know that. I
Oh
don't
my
know that one.
gosh, that's
That
not
one doesn't
even from a
ring
movie.
bell.
That's not from. It's actually a Mark Henry. Is his famous retirement speech that he.
Oh,
See,
Yeah, I don't know that
I'm a
one.
big wrestling fan, so I could quote a lot of promos.
man, yeah, you got a lot of knowledge. You got all
Yeah.
that stored away.
Yeah, I got like a lot of wrestling quotes, a lot of Power Rangers quotes, a lot of movie quotes, a lot of TV shows quotes. I got a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
That
I just
was-
have big lungs.
Yeah.
I don't have a good memory. I just have big lungs, so I'm able to talk about it, just not retain anything.
Yeah, it's a. The thing is, I don't even retain. I retain it, but it just goes away and it comes back in when it wants to, and when it comes back in, I say
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
This is weird, but all right, guys, you guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at KVNG Primetime. Cause I said so. Really, that's the only reason why. It'll be a nice gesture. And go follow Jordan. Go to Wreck My Podcast. Go give it a listen. Like I said, go scroll through your favorite episodes and whatnot. See what you want. Even, you know what? I gotta put this out there too for the people. You even have side episodes. Am I correct?
Yeah, so we have an episode every Monday come out called Around a Round Table, and that's not on a topic. It's just me and the guys riffing, pretty much. We have segments that we do where we answer Would You Rather questions. We do trivia, stuff like that. So even if you don't like topics, at least every week you have an episode you can listen to that is just fun to listen to.
I think that's the one I was watching. You said you was excited for the White Dragon. I think that's the one.
Yeah, because we have a segment called Stoked on This, and that's where we talk about what we're excited for that week in pop culture.
Oh man, are you guys excited for the White Dragon? Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to the next topic. Next.
Yeah, they don't all land. Not all of them are great.
Oh man. But guys, that's gonna do it from me, from Jordan. Jordan, you have anything else to say? You gotta say it now.
I didn't do it. I swear, I didn't do it. Okay.
Okay. All right. And yeah, like I said, from me, from Jordan, that's all I gotta say. Prime time is all the time, and we are out.